This came to me and I knew I wanted to do this one at the very end of the month. Hey, April, because it's perfect for New Year and like thinking ahead and thinking about how you want 2017 to go for you. This idea is perfect for that too. So I really want you to take this in. I really want you to try this. I really, really do. Please, 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 please give this idea, this concept a try. All right, I'm going to take a sip. Hey, Stacy. And then we're going to keep the voice going. I got my hot water and honey and my essential oils going on to keep a voice. Thieves and eucalyptus, because I know you guys like to know what I have for oils in there. And then we're going to go to town. You ready? Okay, voice is still there. We're going here. Okay, so this is the last tip in the Stress to Bless series. This is what I want you to do at the beginning of every day when you first wake up. So I do this in that time when my brain is trying to tell me to stay in bed. And I'm having this sort of fight between like, my brain is saying like, your bed needs you. It's so comfortable. Don't leave it. It's warm here. And then on the other side, it's like the devil and the angel, right? On the other side, it's like, but you should get up and start getting stuff done. And you should go, like you should exercise or you should go get up and have coffee before the kids, or you should get up with the kids or whatever, right? Like this is happening, especially this week because the kids are home from school, right? So it's not quite as rushy. So this starts to happen. So sorry for coughing. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Susan. So this starts to happen right now in the morning. And this is how I stop all of those thoughts. I stop them with this one thing. And this completely sets the tone for my day. And what I do is I set an emotional intention for my day. Now, you can set an emotional intention for your year, for a month, for a week, and for a day, however you want to do it. I like doing it for a day because, usually I think about it for a month, like I'll have a word, but every morning I kind of think like, what do I want for today? Okay. What is my emotional intention for today? So what does that mean? An emotional intention is something that you want to set out to create a day where you feel a certain feeling all day. Okay. And you pick one. So it might be peace. It might be happiness. It might be joy. It might be energy. It might be ambition. It might be motivation. It might be excitement. It might be presence, enjoying the moment. Like whatever it is, doesn't matter. Let whatever the first thing is in that battle with the covers, stay in bed, no, get up, that whole battle, right there, whatever comes to you, make that be the first thing. Use that for your intention for the rest of the day. Your ego will probably come in as soon as you pick it and be like, wait, maybe you should pick this instead. Don't do that. Just go with that first thing. There's something really beautiful about when you first wake up because your ego doesn't really have time to get a hold of stuff yet, right? So do it then, right then and there. Set that emotional intention for your day. Game changer. So as you go throughout your day and you start to feel stress creep in, you want to stop and you want to go, is this in line with my intention for today? Okay? So whether that's a situation, whether that's just a feeling, whether that's a plan that you're creating to do, whether you're choosing what to make for dinner, whatever it is, ask yourself the question, is this in line with my intention for today? Is it or isn't it? Easy yes or no answer, okay? If the answer is yes, proceed and enjoy. If the answer is no, you got to make a shift here. You got to shift it and change it so it is. Okay, so maybe the intention that you set was joy, okay? And it comes to supper time and you're just not feeling like you want to cook dinner. I'm not saying to like just grab, a bottle of wine and drink that instead and well, that's joyful. Right, I get sometimes you need to do things that you don't exactly want to do or feel like doing. But then you can say to yourself, how can I bring joy to this? Okay, so maybe you put on your favorite TV show while you're cooking, or maybe you blast some music, like just whatever music you're in the mood for, and you do that music while you're cooking. Maybe you make your favorite meal, or maybe you get takeout down the street from your favorite place, whatever. As long as it's in line with your intention, then it works. Okay. Listen, if your day is full of like changing baby poopy diapers, like that's probably not going to bring you a lot of joy. Think about how you can think about like, oh my gosh, I'm able to care for this baby. I'm able to take care of this baby. Thank God we have the technology. Thank God I have the means. That brings me joy to think about. So maybe changing the diaper doesn't, but I can pull myself to a place of joy. Do you see that? So it has this cool two-prong effect when you do this. And the first beautiful thing is that you focus really hard on feeling good all day. And so you do, right? We need to remind ourselves to do that, right? Because we're so focused on our to-do list. And it's like, what's the point of all of that to-do list? What's the point of doing that stuff if you don't feel happy and you don't feel good, if you're just a big stress ball all the time, right? Second thing that it does is it starts reminding you, it sends this message to your brain when you do this over and over again every day, that you're in control of how you feel. Now that might sound like a little thing, but that's a big deal. A lot of people don't feel as if they're creating their days. They don't feel like they're creating how they feel. They don't feel like they have control over their universe and their world. They feel like, ugh, I do this and I don't like it, all right? Maybe you have a job that you don't love, okay? Maybe you hate it. Maybe it's sucking the life out of your soul. Maybe it's one of those kind of jobs, but your intention for that day is joy, or your intention for that day is peace. Then you're going to spend that whole time at work trying to find that joy or that peace or that presence or whatever your word is that you picked for the day, or that motivation, whatever you picked. You're going to spend that whole time looking to create that in your day. So yes, it might not be your dream job, but guess what's going to happen? Two things. One, you're going to have a better time at work. You're not going to feel so stressed and so bad and so poor me, victim of your job. Okay? Not a good way to feel, not a good place to manifest. Second thing, so you're going to be happier. Okay? The second thing that's going to happen is your brain's going to go, wait a minute, I'm in control of how I feel. And this isn't supporting that. And I have control over that. So I can manifest something different. I can make happen that better job, that better situation. You get it? You feeling me? You understand that? Okay, first thing, when you wake up, set that emotional intention and go for it. Post in the group what yours is if you want. I'd love to see. And then work to remember it throughout the day. Ask yourself a million trillion times, is this in line with my intention? How can I make this in line with my intention? Do I need to do this if it's out of line with my intention? Ask yourself those questions. You'll notice your stress levels. Okay? Give that a try. Okay. Whew, I made it. My voice is still here. All right. Shoot me your questions. What do you got going on? Tell me about your Christmas. Oh my gosh, I had to really have my mist activated. And I was sick, so it was like a double whammy. Oh my goodness gracious. Jamie says, Heather, your vibe is so happy right now. It's making me happy. Yay, I am happy. I get to do what I love. You know what my emotional intention for today was? It was joy. That's why I was using it. Because I felt like I would get through and do all the stuff I needed to do and just like crash. Like, you know that feeling when you're sick? And I was so tired of feeling that way that I was like, no, I'm just gonna be a ball of happiness today. And that's what I am. Okay. Like I'm lucky that I have that kind of life and I'm feeling better. I can breathe. Woohoo, right? Stuff to be happy about. Thanks for saying that, Jamie. And good job pulling your cards on your page, girl. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're going for that and doing that. Hey, Crystal Dorsey. So Jamie's pulling cards on her page, or she did pull them. I don't know if she's done or not. But she's really stepping out of her comfort zone and doing that. So that's amazing. Hey, what? All right. So what do you got for questions for me? Shoot them at me. Tell me how your holidays were. I'm so excited to bring you so many cool things. Are you excited about Songs with the Angels? Woo-hoo. So I've done those for a few years, but in the other group, and I'm not doing it in the other group this year because it would take me about 3 weeks to pull an angel song for everybody. And I do it for free, which is fine. I love to do that. And I love to give people those messages. But I decided this year, with everything going on with the retreat and all these other amazing things I've got in store for you all, that I would just do it for you guys. So it's going to be fun. So I'm going to what I do is I just put my Pandora on my phone on shuffle, and I tune into you, and I hit the button, hit shuffle until I get that feeling and that connection to the song that I know it's for you. And then I type it in, and I usually go on YouTube and get a link for you so that you can go right in and you can listen to it. Hey, David. So it's really fun. I'm excited for that. Hey, Melissa. Jamie said, I love that last time you did the song from the Angels. So cool. Yeah, so fun, right? Sharon says, can't wait for Songs with the Angels. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So many cool things. I'm working on, sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. I'm working on a program to help everybody release. Okay, so you guys, the rebels, will get this release toolkit, is what it's going to be, for free. All right. Everyone else will have to pay for it, but you guys will get it for free. So I'm excited to bring that to you. But I have most of it put together. But then I decided that I wanted to go get a few expert opinions. Heather B, I don't know if you're in here and listening, but she's one of the people that I'm going to get an expert opinion on so that I can add a few more things. Because the reason that I got pneumonia is because the energetic reason behind it is so clear, is that I hold on to stuff. So my friend who's an acupuncturist was telling me that your lungs and your chest, it's like the spiritual burial ground for all your stuff. So when your throat chakra and your chest is always being affected, and your heart chakra, it's because you're not releasing things. And that made so much sense for me. I feel like a lot of empaths can relate to this. So let me know if you can too. I feel like I release something. Like I think about it. I go through my steps of not taking it personal and seeing it from the other person's side, and I send love to the situation, and I do a whole exercise where I let it go. I have a great one. I put it in a balloon and it floats away. Some of you have probably done it before with me. And then it would feel gone. The situation would, honest and true, feel like it had left me. And then something else would happen, and it would feel like all of it came rushing back. Can you guys relate to that? And so I think that's what this whole pneumonia thing is about. Everyone's like, oh, it's trying to slow you down. Maybe a little, but I honestly run best at 90 miles an hour. I do my best work when I have a lot to do, and I love doing a lot of things. So I think that's just maybe a small part of it. I should have rested sooner when I started to get sick, for sure. But that's really what it is. So I've really dug deep and got some amazing tools to really help you fully let stuff go. I can see some comments. Melissa says she can relate. Stacy says that's awesome. David said I can feel tightness in chest if I hold back. Yep. Stacy says I absolutely relate. Yep. Mary can relate too. My apologies for coughing into the microphone. Yeah. So for me, and I'd love to know if this is true for you guys too, the things that I have trouble releasing are when I'm mistreated by people. So, and it's people, especially people that I care about, and I feel like should care about me. Okay. And it's sort of like the injustice of it all, really bothers me. And I talk a lot about that, and about being a lighthouse, and about how when you shine bright, other people aren't going to like it. And that happens to me a lot. My whole entire life, that has happened to me. I have always been very driven. And I have not always wanted to be in the spotlight. That's just part of being a lighthouse that you kind of are born with. I've told you before, I'm sure you've heard me, hey, Michelle Duffy, I'm sure you've heard me, tell the story. I was a very awkward kid, very awkward. I had the most crooked teeth. They were like a basket weave pattern. I developed like really early and had this very awkward figure, and tried to dress it really young because I was very intimidated by the idea of having curves and looking different than the other girls. I was always a dancer, and I was always built more like an athlete. So I never felt like I completely fit in. And I always have I'm silly, and I'm loud, and I just say whatever comes to me. And I don't, in the moment, I don't care. And people would not like that. And so when you're in the spotlight and you're like an awkward kid, hey, Melissa Curry, it's weird, right? And so, but for my whole life, I always wanted to do everything really well, and I always enjoyed what I was doing. And there were so many times in that process, whatever I picked to do, that I've always just felt like under attack by people. And I know so many of you empaths can relate to that. I know that you can, because it's an empath thing. It's a lighthouse thing. It's part of our lesson, is to learn to shine despite that, and to make that be something that helps us shine brighter. But it's really hard, at least for me, and I'd love to know for you too, when other people who I've always been kind to and gone out of my way for and love don't treat me right. Like I have this one situation with family members that there's two of them that they basically bully me. And it's very strange. And it's one of those situations, and I know this has a lot to do with it, where I don't feed into the drama, and that's always been my way of handling it. And it's been for like 15 years going on. So, and I have to be around them. They're family members. And I only be around them when I have to, and I keep the peace, but it's almost like I should have said something about it so long ago that it seems awkward to bring it up now. So I'm just kind of in there, and I don't feed into the drama being thrown at me. But I think what happens is that pain and that struggle and that hurt when they're doing things, intentionally to hurt my feelings or to exclude me or whatever. I think it just gets stuck. See, him coughing now over it. And I think that, I need to find a better way to, in the moment, just be like, this is bothering me. When it's a new situation, I can do that so easily. It's really comes easy to me. But when it's a situation that's been going on for like a really long period of time, it's awkward. It's weird. Like, how do you go in and address that? How do you say something? And I'm very good with the boundaries, but it's clearly still affecting me, right? So that's what I'm putting together for you, is a way to handle that better. And I can certainly see that the things I put together are already helping me a lot. But what I really want to finish putting together is getting a few more experts' opinions and filling in a few extra little pieces of it, so that you guys can really, really have the tools to release those things that are bothering you. So let me look through your comments, because I can see that